Well, Mike, you see some things you like and probably some things you weren't nuts about, or
Yeah.
why don't you share a little bit of each of those with us if you would?
Well, we had a scrimmage the other day. Maybe it was the first scrimmage we had where we, I kind of took the 7 of the better players, put them on one team, and played against the other group of guys. And I had 3 different groups, 3 different scrimmages, and each time the group of guys that were not supposed to be your better players won. And it was basically the same reason that you saw in the first 12 minutes tonight, is that we settled for the first shot off the first pass. We had nobody in the paint to offensively rebound, and we didn't get in any kind of rhythm. So we missed the shot. We were basically, we were 3 for 15 from outside 8 feet. So as a result of that, we didn't get any continuity. We didn't get any kind of rhythm. We didn't get anybody. So that's one of the things that we have to figure out, is how to get each other good shots, not settle for the first shot just because it's open. We've got to get on a rhythm. And, we were 7 for 23 from the floor at one point, and, they shoot the ball pretty well. So we end up getting ourselves in a hole. So we've got to figure that out. And now maybe that group's not the best group. Maybe we've got to find other people that can do that. And I thought Justin went in and did a real good job, and got us going a little bit. We also got Jorge and Crab with 2 fouls in the first half. So, but I mean, we'd throw at the post and he would just, boom, without even really getting settled, he would shoot it and miss it, and then boom, we'd go back on defense. So that's something that's not atypical of us yet. We've got to get through that and figure out what it is we do best. The good side is once we kind of got settled a little bit, we kind of got in a rhythm and we were pretty good. We got good contribution off the bench. Robert Thurman did a nice job. Obviously Justin did a nice job. Jorge was unselfish. I mean, it really helps when you have a guy make an extra pass or give up what might have been a shot for him to get somebody else's shot. And it's one of the things we're going to have to do for Alan Crabb. We've got to get Alan Crabb shots. And, we've got to work to get him shots, because once he gets going, he's really good. But if we just forget about him and don't, then we're not going to be as good. And they get that, but how to do it consistently, we've got to do a better job. Doesn't mean we pass up things. It means that we do a good job of finding people at where their strengths are. Defensively, we were better in the second half. I thought we let their low post catch the ball where he wanted to and made some mistakes there. But, you're talking about Krabish, Bach, Robert, guys that really haven't played very much. So it was probably pretty good for them.
Can you talk about the game that Krabish had? It looked like he was pretty active.
Well, that's kind of what David does. He's the one thing he's really impressed us with us. He's a guy that gets his hands on a lot of balls, and he just has a knack for being in the right place at the right time. He is a little bit has a tendency to pass it before he figures out where he is. If he might have some, he catches some passes. He's got to slow down a little bit and figure out what's a good move for him. He actually ended up getting the left-hand jump hook twice, which is probably, it's something he's working on, but it's not probably the best thing for him. So we, maybe what we got to do with our post guys is, if you get to your best move, take it. If you don't feel like you have to shoot it, come out, let's reestablish and get another shot.
You see him being a definite contributor in some capacity? You see him?
Oh, I don't think there's any question. I just think he's long. He has a pretty good knack for blocking shots, and that was one of the things that we first saw when we saw him, is he can block shots. He's good one-man remove particularly, but of course that's going to get him in trouble some. If he leaves his man to go block a shot, somebody's going to have to go pick him up on the glass. But he'll get better and better. He's a smart player, and he moves around, and maybe the shot doesn't look like $1 million, but it tends to always go in. So can't fault that.
Coach's team certainly seemed to come out with a lot more fire in the second half, seeming to make the most of their seeming athletic advantage over UCSD. What do you attribute that to?
Well, I know they didn't play very well in the first half. I mean, we talked about the same things, is how, what makes us a good team, what do we have to do. There's a pace with which we have to play that is a pace where we can be successful. But there's also a pace that gets us in trouble. And so we did a better job of moving the ball. We were firmer about getting the ball in a better spot. We maybe made the extra pass. And like anything else, sometimes it's no more complex when the ball starts going down. You look a whole lot better. But I also thought we probably wised up defensively a little bit, kind of read what they were hurting us with. They kept curling off screens, and we kept tagging the screens and getting in trouble. We finally figured out how to get up through the screens a little bit better, and as a result of that, we were getting some turnovers and some runouts.
Mike, do you expect to play 9, 10 guys, or do you think eventually you'll settle on 1 up 8, or?
I don't have any expectation one way or the other. It seems to me that the guys that are contributing and doing a good job on a given night need to play more minutes. And if there's inconsistency with, I pretty much feel like I know what I'm going to get from Harper and Ore at any given time. Maybe throw Crab in that mix, Brandon's solid, but after that, obviously Justin had a really good game. He deserved to be on the floor. Does that mean, where do I move? Do I move strictly? Does he play 1, or can he play the 2? Or play the 3? Can Crab play the 4? Can we play small? It's just a matter of finding people that are producing. But I can't play people that can't defend. If you go in and you give up 8 points because you can't defend a guy, it's really unlikely for some of these guys to be able to make get 8 points back themselves. They're not going to give up 8 and make 20. Some of them, so that makes them a negative, and we can't have that. We just can't have that. The guys are going to have to figure that out. They're in charge of their own destiny, really.
Did you learn anything about the team tonight, seeing them in action?
Not anything I really didn't know. I've seen, the thing I told them before the game, I said, you go out to practice every day and we scrimmage or whatever, I throw 10 people out there. And so everybody's feeling pretty good about this. I said, now all of a sudden we'll cut this in half. I got 5 people out there, and that means there's 5 people got to figure out a way to get in the game. That's going to change the way you view things a little bit. So you need to understand that. When you go in and take advantage of what you got, and then maybe you're going to get a second run. I was glad to be able to play, 14 players, 15, I don't know, 15. But that's obviously not going to happen as time goes on. I think I can get to 10 or 11, depending on how and what the circumstances are. But that's not going to be the game plan. The game plan is going to be have the best people on the floor to win games.
How about Thurman? What do you hope to get out of him this season?
Well, Rob's big. He's big and he's physical. He's 265 or 260, somewhere in there. Rob made some nice moves early. When we put Rob in, Richard got 3-4 shots early, didn't make anything, and well, we're going to keep getting shots and keep missing. That's not helping us. Rob went in and made his first 2 shots. So all of a sudden you say, well, okay, there's a guy's giving you something, and you got to go with that. You don't have the luxury for anybody to just keep firing away and not making plays.
Rossi anywhere close to being able to play?
No. Alex had him having a tough time. He's just not been able to get physically to where he can play and practice every day to get any kind of a rhythm. So his number 1 goal is to get healthy. That's all we're really concerned about, is try to find a way to get him healthy.
What was Barron's issue there at the end? Did he come down?
Well, he had a torn ACL in high school, and I don't think it's that or anything related to that, but it scared him for sure because it was the same knee, and so when he felt pain in there, he thought, oh man, because that's a tough recovery.
Justin Cobb show you?
Justin's good. When he focuses and concentrates, he's a good player. But right now, Justin, Brandon, Ore are my 3 guys for 2 spots. So there's plenty of time there. I'm not too concerned about who starts. Brandon's been very steady. Ore's Ore. Now, Justin can give us that. There's a lot of minutes for him. I can even move Ore over to the 3 if I need to do that. But Jeff shot the ball pretty well as well.
Mike you said Friday in LA, you're feeling better every day, and how about today relative to what?
Well, I was at practice full time yesterday, which I told the team I was going to do. I've got to be careful. I got a little, I got a little warning, I think, in LA that you can't do too much too fast. You gotta be careful with the thing. Somebody threw a ball kind of yesterday, and I kind of just naturally instinctively reached down. I said, "Oh, that wasn't so smart." It's kinda, so, I don't know how many stitches in there, but a whole bunch. So there's a lot of healing going on in there. Energy is an issue. I've just got to make sure I have the energy, get enough rest to have enough energy to do what I need to do, and then just give it time to heal. So I won't be taking any charges and charge drills or anything like that for a while, unless I'm really stupid, which certainly could be argued. All right? All right.